children in these days of freedom. But alas, those born in these freedom days are beginning to look at this freedom with reddening eyes. They come to the store here, they look at me, they say, "No, Rasta, this is no freedom," they say. They throw hard words at me. The young are questioning the essence of the miracle that we claim we are. They don't buy the spin that we believed, especially the ones that made money. We became a fairy tale nation once upon a time, swaying to the Majiva jive. We were Africa's new kid on the block, one of Africa's shining examples where you can create a billionaire in the faster time than it takes to plant a seed and eat the fruits. Whoa. We became the world's football pitch. And for a brief moment, it seemed that we could create a common destiny behind a colorful flag, a spliced together national anthem, and an immovable founding father that our people are afraid to talk about, who's now on the money, and now the truth is out at last. They reject this freedom with reddening eyes and stinging words. We took over the union buildings, but we're not free, they say. Whites still own the country, man. How can you be free when only few blacks are on the highway of economic self-empowerment? What are you talking about, Bra Steve, they say. We don't have land, man. And the people with no land cannot even claim to belong to themselves. Hey. This street level unease is a bigger, simpler question of why things are the way they are. It mirrors a generational discontent. It begs for a new consciousness. Things must change. We need a flood. A beautiful one who writes says to me, he says, "Yes, Brakwena, exactly like the flood in the Bible. The settlement of 1994 was bound to get us to this point. You can't give people half freedom, some freedom." He said, freedom is freedom. People know when they've got it. No person in the world combines your particular history, your particular gifts, your particular strengths, your weaknesses, your joys, and your desires. No one can dream the same dreams you do, even though your dreams are connected to the dreams of your community, to the dreams of humanity. Yeah. You are a unique individual born of a proud people, a people who have always cherished the idea of freedom. Your life is part of the great African story of freedom. I dare you to find a new beginning. It doesn't begin with Adam and Eve. It doesn't begin in a fable garden. There were no snakes there. Your story goes back right to the beginning of time. The search for freedom goes far into an unknowable past. Your story doesn't begin in a township or rural village or dull suburb with high walls. It doesn't. By virtue of being here, in the southern tip of the African continent, your story is the story of all living things that can be traced back to 3.5 billion years. This is where the human journey begins, and this is where some of the most hideous clashes of humankind have taken place. You are heirs to an awful history. The memory of that took place here is yet to reveal itself in full, and when it does, I fear that the human heart will be too tired. At its core, the struggle for human freedom is a struggle for humanity, a struggle for freedom from physical